What would you do if you could snap your fingers and be brought back to your childhood? My first option would be buying a house during the 2008 market crash, but honestly what comes second is just to play SpongeBob games again for the first time. And now I'm in my 20s feeling like all time has been lost. So I decided to platinum SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. I'm sorry if that intro became a little bit cringe and a little bit corny and a little bit sad while we're at it, but let's jump right into it. Because this is a kid's game, we can't be making people depressed out here. So we start the game with the Chum Bucket where Plankton is back again, coming up with a scheme to steal the Krabby Patty formula. He creates a robot duplicator to create an army to help him, but the plan backfires as the robots do not obey Plankton. We cut back to SpongeBob and Patrick where Patrick wishes for real robots to play with instead of toy robots. And they go to sleep, and ironically that very next morning, robots have taken over the entire Bikini Bottom. So beginning the story, I completed the tutorial right away for the game and I got my first few collectibles within SpongeBob's house and Bikini Bottom. And I just gotta say, me playing this so far, I'm feeling like super nostalgic. The first real level of this game is Jellyfish Fields where, as always, Squidward is getting attacked by jellyfish. But that's not all, robots are chasing him too. Squidward ends up getting hurt and SpongeBob would suggest that he needs some jelly from the King Jellyfish. So Squidward gives us the quest from the King Jellyfish so his stings can actually heal quicker. Yeah, this jellyfish right here. Along the way, we meet up with Patrick and learn his moveset, completing some areas we couldn't get across with SpongeBob. I climb my way up the Jellyfish Hill where we catch the King Jellyfish off guard in the shower where he gets aggro and we begin our first boss fight of the game. This boss's weakness is whenever it flops on the ground like this, you just jump over the blast and hit his super upper jelly part thingy, whatever you want to call this thing right here. Like, I'm not no SpongeBob expert, my boy, come on. Also, I think this is obvious, but there's like a ton of spoilers in this video, but this game came out like 20 years ago, so if you're gonna get spoiled by this game, I mean, honestly, I don't even know what to tell you. Now here's the thing that's my favorite about this game, these slides right here. We go down the slides and meet back up with Squidward to give him the jelly where he rewards us with a golden spatula and we pop another trophy. Also, believe me when I say this, we'll be mentioning golden spatulas a lot. If you guys want to do a counter in the comment section, you guys can. Back at Bikini Bottom, we learn we can trade shiny objects we loot from the ground for golden spatulas with Mr. Krabs. And of course, it's Mr. Krabs monetizing something with golden spatulas. I mean, this man needs to be my financial advisor for 2024. Next, we head to downtown Bikini Bottom, and this area at the time didn't have much airtime on the show, so they have a lot of improvising to do. We learned from Mrs. Puff that Bikini Bottom has been evacuating and people can't leave because the robots took all the boat's wheels. In this level, we get introduced to Sandy and her amazing abilities. She got the best abilities. I don't know, if you guys stand anyone else, you guys are just doing something wrong because we stand for Sandy around here. Next up, we meet up with the Giga Chad Larry where his TV reception has been terrible and we need to get his antenna back in return for a golden spatula. Do you guys remember cable television? I'm saying this like a good amount of you guys won't still have cable television. Like, we're not that far away from that era. I make my way through the tippity top of downtown Bikini Bottom with Sandy where we switch to SpongeBob to take down this lighthouse thingy of robots and move on to meet Mr. Krabs. He asked us to break these tikis for him because he said that they look ugly. Interesting quest, right? We obviously get it done like a good little sponge and get rewarded with another golden spatula. Now back in downtown Bikini Bottom, we speak to Mrs. Puff again and gain her rewards for getting all the steering wheels back. Next up is Goo Lagoon, the beach within the ocean. I don't know how SpongeBob works. SpongeBob becomes a little sus sometimes. We see Larry once again. He tells us the robots have stolen all the sunscreen from everyone and we need to take down the robot sitting in the craziest camping spot I've ever seen using sun reflectors. I just want to remind you guys that this is a kid's game and this puzzle was crazy. It literally took me over an hour to complete. I don't know if I'm just a noob at these type of games or if this puzzle was just absolutely crazy.
I love you. Patrick needs to do laundry.
But next up is another boss fight, and this boss is Kim Neptune himself. He brings out a giant robot Sandy to the ring. Sandy's first weakness is her helmet. When you get bounced in the air, you need to smash into Sandy's head to stun her. After we switch to Patrick where you need to get her head and use Patrick's abilities to pick it up and throw it, you continue to do this, and sooner or later, you have defeated Sandy. And once again, spoiler alert. Next up is the Mermalair, and this level has me so annoyed to the point I had to come back to this game 3 different times just to complete it. Now you may be wondering, how could I possibly be struggling? This is a kid's game, and this is a simple area. Well, let me just give you guys a little bit of sauce. There's this random ball puzzle that you have to go ahead and just go through the whole level and make sure it gets to the very end. And there's a few things that are just really annoying to do it with. And it sounds easy, right, when I say it, but let me just show you guys a full uncut run of it, and I'll speed it up for you guys. Check this out. After finally getting past that puzzle, we receive a reward from Mr. Krabs and move on to receive another task with Patrick from Barnacle Boy. It's honestly the easiest puzzle in the game, so let's move on to the next boss battle. This next boss gotta be the goofiest boss in the game. This man reminds me of Mr. Nimbus from Rick and Morty.
I am Mr. Nimbus.
But to go along with the theme of this level, this boss was very easy to defeat. He didn't even bother to show up. We had to take out the speaker thing that was on his head. Walking through Bikini Bottom, I see that I can enter Sandy's dome. And here we get a mission to take out all the robots and help Sandy fix a hole in her dome. Yeah, that sounds really inappropriate when I say it out loud. Maybe I'm just thirsty and need some flooding. We receive a golden spatula and head to rock bottom.
Next boss to Bikini Bottom.
And here we are introduced to some brand new robots. These ones seem to be a lot more OP than the other ones so far. And somehow Mrs. Puff is here back again, telling us that we need to find some paintings from the museum. They were stolen by a bunch of robots and they're scattered all throughout this level. And now we get inside of the museum where we meet Barnacle Boy, and apparently this is his second job. And the robots have just completely destroyed the whole museum and we need to clear it out. And his reason for this is literally just so he can keep his second job. I mean, this guy's out here grinding. Honestly, that's motivational for real. Once clearing the robots and returning to Mrs. Puff, we're stacking up golden spatulas. You may be wondering, why are golden spatulas so important? Well, you need them to open up new levels and get to different areas of the game. Also, you need 100 of them just so you can 100% complete the game and eventually get the platinum trophy. Next up is my favorite level of the game, Sand Mountain. At the entrance, we meet an angry Squidward asking us to clear each mountain slope of the robots for a reward. But the most fun part of this level is the side missions within them. You get to do 3 races where you need to beat a certain character's time for a golden spatula each. These races had me taking like crazy shortcuts, feeling like an official racer. And we had to beat certain times. It was crazy. It was so much fun. I love this level a lot. This leads us to our next boss fight against the robot Patrick. This boss spins around, throws slime everywhere. This is one of more of the difficult bosses in the game, but honestly, it was pretty fun. After saving Squidward yet again, he gives us another golden spatula. Now, I'm not excited to relive this experience right here. Kelp Forest was by far my least favorite of this whole game. Like, the level was just terrible. The visibility, the aesthetic, just the vibe, just going through the level, what you needed to do. It was just the worst level. I don't know if anybody else felt this when they played this game, but I just hate this level. Like, this level should not even be in the game. Mrs. Puff has us finding lost campers and obviously clearing robots like we do with every single level. Next up was SpongeBob's Dreamland, and this was fun but annoying. By the time I got to this level, I finally moved to my new apartment and started streaming and playing after a month break, so here's my first live reaction of the video from my stream on Kick. Link down below in the description, by the way. Oh, never mind, it took 2 hits. Oh, Robot Encyclopedia. Oh, destroy at least one type of robot in every game while playing the campaign. Squidward's area of the level was super satisfying for some reason. Next up was the level I was super excited for before even playing, Flying Dutchman's area. The aesthetic was amazing and I love this level, the complete opposite of Kelp Forest. Basically, robots have destroyed and took over the Flying Dutchman's ship and started a war on it with another ship. We make our way through the level and do some crazy parkour where we end up on his boat, completing the mission. Actually, no, that's not gonna work. Oh, it did work. Hey, ship shape. Reclaim the Flying Dutchman's ship in the Flying Dutchman's graveyard, okay. The Flying Dutchman is evil and obviously has something up his sleeve. The golden spatula he promised us, he decided to take back. And if we wanted it, we'd have to defeat him in a boss battle. They were really trying to add some drama to this story, man. They had a whole plot twist going on here. His attacks weren't really good at all, to be honest. It was just some laser eyes and a weird drag thing. And it seemed like early game had a lot tougher bosses. When I got like mid to late game, the bosses were just easy and easy. Maybe I just got better at the game, but I don't know. At this point, we were getting close to the platinum, so I went back and got the tutorial trophy. In golden spatulas, I missed the Bikini Bottom. Time for tutorial. There we go. We finally went back and got that. All right. Number 75. All right, we only got 25 to collect left. And now it was officially the final stretch. All we gotta do are the collectibles and one last boss fight. The final boss fight is against the giant robot SpongeBob and Plankton. This battle was pretty challenging. This was the final stretch for the plat. I needed a total of 80 Patrick socks and 100 golden spatulas, so I just grinded these out. It's gonna be the last one for Robot SpongeBob. There we go, SpongeBob versus SpongeBob. We got that trophy right there. This could be it. Yep, there we go. Okay, makes sense. There we go. The small does not roll. We completed the game. Let's go. Look at that. Defeat Roboplankton. Sock concert. Hey, there we go. We got 40. That means we got 40 more to go. Last sock right here. This is gonna be pop the trophy. Yes, sock opera. Finally, we did that. All right, we just gotta get the spatulas and we're done. All we gotta do is jump over here and we got it. All right, one more trophy. Yep, there we go. Where's the platinum? Platinum pop up? There we go, Neptune's spatula. And according to PlayStation, that took me 18 hours.